Hey up everybody, Magpie Gaming here. I hope you're all doing well and I hope you're all having an amazing holiday season this year. Been a bit of a shit year, but hopefully we've ended on a high, especially with Escape from Tarkov at least. So for this video I'm going to do a yay or nay for patch 12.9, and for me it's a yay. I've really enjoyed this patch so far, although there are a couple of things that I don't quite like and I'll go into those soon. But I'm just going to go through the main points of the patch that I've enjoyed so far. So the first one of those was actual patch day. Now predominantly patch day for Escape from Tarkov is a complete and utter fuck up. The servers don't work properly, there's a lot of downtime, they have to issue hot fixes really quick and get those out, it breaks the game. Generally some people would say that you've got to stay away for a couple of days because the game just won't work. Now it's got to be said that the last couple of large patches with the game haven't been that bad, and I think 12.9 was probably one of the smoothest ones yet. The game updated, it took around, I think it was around 4 hours to get updated. They didn't really have to extend it any that I'm aware of, and it just worked afterwards. There was no real issues. There's been a couple of hot fixes in recent days, yes, to fix certain things in the game and balance things out, but other than that, patch day was really smooth. Now there's been a lot of quality of life changes with the game as well, and it just seems altogether more there for me. The menus seem a lot more responsive, a lot smoother. Indeed, gameplay seems very smooth. I'm not noticing too many stutters in the game. Now, one of the things that I know when I play this game is once I get into a battle with somebody, I tend to not notice the stutters. I'm too focused on trying to hit the person that's in front of me or trying to see where they are if I've been shot from a certain area and I don't know where they're hiding. So I don't really tend to look at the FPS as I'm in those situations, but it does seem solid, it seems smooth. When I aim and shoot at somebody, inevitably I tend to hit them now, whereas before I was never really sure. So it looks like they've worked on the servers and things like that, and it just seems a lot better. Matchmaking is more or less instant now, and I like the fact that you get to see your teammates up on the screen as well, and you can have a laugh at the loadout that they've picked. It's yeah, I like that, it's really good. So the matchmaking seems to be a lot better. Obviously joining a group is instant. Now over recent days matchmaking has got a little bit longer, and I have a theory to this. They did start to have some server issues a few days after the patch had been done. Obviously you do get these rafter people that stay away from the game for a couple of days until it's settled down, and then obviously a lot more people come online, and I think in order just to stabilize the servers, they're running less raids on a server, but they are filling every available spawn slot up on every raid. And I've noticed this in a lot of the spawns recently, especially on customs. I seem to spawn right next to somebody else. You know, you'd generally spawn in a certain area and you know that there's maybe one or two different spawn areas around you, but generally those wouldn't be filled, it'd be more spread out, but just recently those have been being filled. And I've a couple of occasions on customs I've barely had a chance to check my fire mode, and I've had one or two other solo players coming upon me. So yeah, it's been a little bit savage the last few days with the spawns. I mean, but I'm only talking about customs, and this is my experience. Your experience might be completely different. We also got the new weapons. I haven't tried any of them yet, I'm just not of a high enough level to get them, although I do have flea market access now, so I could probably buy some, but I wouldn't have access to the ammo yet or anything like that. But then again, I could buy that on the flea market as well, but I don't have that kind of money at the moment. But they put some good weapons in, some new ammunition in, and it's always nice just to broaden the game a little bit and give us a little bit more to play with. Then we've got the Woods expansion, and holy shit, it's huge. Now I never expected the Woods expansion to be as big as it is, but it is absolutely massive, and orientating yourself on that map at the moment is very difficult, I find anyway. I've only played the Woods expansion a couple of times, but in the new bit I get completely and utterly lost. Now one of the best ways to orientate yourself I've found is to look for Sniper Rock. It's predominantly the highest point on that map, but you can't always see it from the new area. But if you can tend to see it in the distance, then you can sort of try and work out where you are. If you generally head for Sniper Rock, you will eventually work out where you are. But yeah, that expansion is massive. I really do like it. They've put a lot of work into it. There's a lot of areas to explore now. You've got a couple of villages, some camps and things like that. Just a couple of buildings here there dotted around to break up the expanse of the map now. It is absolutely huge, and it's very hard to spot people. It's so easy to hide in that now, and it's so open in parts as well. So it's definitely a map that I'm going to enjoy playing going forward, although I think it's going to be one of these where I ultimately end up hating at the end of the day because I haven't made it out of a raid. But yeah, the Woods expansion was some good work on Battlestate's part. They really pulled it out with that, and it looks amazing. The changes to the AI, I know that there were changes with 12.9, but I also know that there were changes before 12.9 with the way they behaved and the way they interacted, etc. I like the changes. I like the fact that they now run. I mean, that's something that they never used to really do, and it kind of spins you out. Players only run, bots don't, but bots do now run, and it makes you wonder, what am I going to come up against around the corner? Is that a player? Is it a bot? Hard to tell until they start gobbing off, and then you realise, yeah, it's AI, because players won't generally do that and give the position away. But yeah, I like the AI changes. I think some are still dumb as shit and really easy to kill, and others are just tactically elite and will dodge every bullet like it's the Matrix. So yeah, I like it. It's a good mix. I think they're never ever going to fully please people with the AI. It's always either going to be too easy for some or too hard for others, but I think they're getting the balance more or less there now. Now, one of the things that I don't like about patch 12.9, and I think these changes I'm going to talk about came about before 12.9, but the previous months up to 12.9's release, I'd not really played the game. Personal issues meant that I wasn't really playing it at the time, but now I'm very much back into it. But it's the medication and the light and heavy bleeds. It seems very, very hard sometimes to stop a light bleed, and you seem to bleed out so quick that you've basically got to carry a hell of a lot of medication with you, because if you get any kind of sort of semi-serious damage, the chances are, for me personally, 80% of the time I won't make it out of that raid. I just simply won't have enough medication, I won't have enough drinks on me to stop the dehydration, and it just seems a little bit unbalanced at the moment. I think they need to turn it back a little bit. You're having to carry so many meds that as an early player you don't have access to. Yes, you can get Salevas from the off, you can make them in the med station, but they don't stop everything, and you're having to maybe carry maybe two of them just to make sure that you get out of a raid in a half decent fashion, because you don't yet have access to the good armor to protect you. Not that it really makes a massive difference in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, I don't like the way the meds are set up at the moment. The heavy and light bleeds, I get the idea behind it. I like the fact that you can hit somebody, give them a heavy bleed, and they will leave a blood trail, although I'm yet to follow any because I usually die in most of the engagements. But I just think it's a little bit over the top. I think they could have turned it back some. It was just, I don't know. I know that they're going for this realism factor, but there's a fine line between realism and having fun in a game, and I think the way the med situation is at the moment, it sort of detracts from the fun of the game right now. You used to just be able to spam one of your hotkeys, med yourself, and you not necessarily be up and running again, but you would be in a fit state to fight. Now it just seems that I spend more time medding than anything else. So, but yeah, I probably shouldn't get hit as much. But then, like I say, in the early stages of the game, you don't have the armor to protect you. So yeah, I'd like to see him turn it back a bit. It's just a little bit too much for me. But I'd like to know your thoughts and feelings on patch 12.9 in the comment section below. What do you like? What do you hate from it? I generally like everything that they've put in, apart from the meds thing, but I think they've done a really good patch. The game feels hell of a lot more premium now than it used to. It's so smooth. The graphics are very, very good now. I think the graphics are coming on leaps and bounds. You can see this in the texture changes that they've made, even just to walls in random buildings and things like that. It looks a lot better now, and it plays a lot better. So let me know in the comment section your thoughts and feelings on it and what you think about this patch. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.